the latest news to your favorite tunes. We've got your back morning, night, and afternoon. Join our family, connect with your crew. Kings FM 88.5, just for you.
His Excellency, George Weah, President of Liberia. Our board noted that His Excellency's victory as the African Political Leader of the Year 2023 is a testament to his contributions to promoting peace, African culture and development, youth and sports development, and advancing Africa's agenda globally. It is also a recognition of his critical role in the infrastructural and socio-economic development of his country as well as his people-friendly policies. He has continued to advocate for peace and free and fair elections in the ECOWAS sub-region, and this was demonstrated by a show of statesmanship and iconic posturing by accepting electoral loss and congratulating the winner. While he arguably had options as a sitting president, he chose the path of honor, peace, and the defense of democracy. His emergence reaffirms our position that he has remained one of the continent's leading light, as he had continued to demonstrate great faith in the African project, promoting African dignity and helping to change the negative narratives about the continent.
Before we become journalists today, we are citizens. If there is no way that our country is safe, we cannot practice in our respective professions. When we are at war, pastors will not be respected to go to church to preach. When we are at war, medical doctors will not be able to go to hospitals except on a coercion or sanitary condition. When we are at war, lawyers will not be able to go to court to practice. That's why when you see these things happening, whether you are a lawyer, whether you are working a profession, you got to step down and protect your country so that that country will provide an avenue for you to be the kind of person that you want to be. And that's where we are now. What happened yesterday was wrong. It's still wrong, and no matter what it is wrong. We are seeing things happening in this country, and people are now seeing it as being right because the Asa is there. And these are things that we got to be stand up. To be a patriot, you have to stand first on the side of the law, because the politicians will go away. The regime will pass away, but your country will stay. The law will stay. Your patriotism vow will continue to stay on. And these are things that we got to stand up for. It doesn't matter how people feel, what kind of side you want to be on. We just got to speak to the truth, and that is very much important. Before we could become journalists today, we are citizens. If there is no way that our country is safe, we cannot practice in our respective professions. When we are at war, pastors will not be respected to go to church to preach. When we are at war, medical doctors will not be able to go to hospitals except on a coercion or sanitary condition. When we are at war, lawyers will not be able to go to court to practice. That's why when you see these things happening, whether you are a lawyer, whether you are working a profession, you got to step down and protect your country so that that country will provide an avenue for you to be the kind of person that you want to be. And that's where we are now. What happened yesterday was wrong. It's still wrong, and no matter what it is wrong. We are seeing things happening in this country, and people are now seeing it as being right because the Asa is there. And these are things that we got to be stand up. To be a patriot, you have to stand first on the side of the law, because the politicians will go away. The regime will pass away, but your country will stay. The law will stay. Your patriotism vow will continue to stay on. And these are things that we got to stand up for. It doesn't matter how people feel, what kind of side you want to be on. We just got to speak to the truth, and that is very much important.
I see in the next few months a noisy country, a very noisy country, rowdy country, a heavily divided country, a very tough economy, a sense of elitism by those who are coming at the hem of authority. The coming in of the Unity Party is going to multiply the economic woes, the economic conundrum, the economic quagmire, the suffering of the Liberian people is going to multiply. We are not prophets of doom, but the reality will come.
Because if we're not ready for no Mandingo speaker, that will be clear and tell it here. Liberia are not ready now for Mandingo speaker. There's a fear that when you get Mandingo power to turn the whole thing into Muslim Benin, So Musa Belete will say he can turn the whole country into a Muslim state. When he made Musa Belete speaker, so that thing away into a poor fear in the people. Because the people not ready for no Mandingo speaker. That would be clear charity here. Liberia not ready now for Mandingo speaker. There's a fear that when you get Mandingo power to turn the whole thing into Muslim Benin. So Musa Belete will say he can turn the whole country into a Muslim state. When he made Musa Belete speaker, so that thing away into a poor fear in the people.
Told me when I was in Rome. He himself was in Italy. That tells you how much he was in touch with what was happening on the ground. He said, return to Monrovia. I have a program. I'm right behind you. And whether he was in Monrovia or not in Monrovia, former President Weah did everything that he had to. Could he have done more? If I had asked him to do more, yes, he would have. Personal affinity. I support his return because we have seen various styles and various types of leadership in Liberia. And I think the populist type of leadership that President Weah brought to the table, I'm not saying the government was perfect. I think it was one that brought healing and reconciliation to this country. And I long for those days.
They are believing to put more pressure on the old man so that he can give her the goals, and then they will assume criminally the democratically elected seat of our republic, that is the presidency. The presidency of this republic has been desecrated, and I'm hoping that will not continue in that vein. But I can say to anybody, it is our prayers that President Baga will go beyond 2029, and even 2039, he will go beyond that. It is our prayers and hope that the Almighty God will keep him, because they are agents. There are demons at the doors of this country that are willing to put this country back into a bloodshed. The only hope we have is God to protect the life of Joseph Boakai until he can save the term power in 2029, which I know he will do honorably.
Fonati resigned yesterday. We are now going for election today. Whoever wins as a Speaker of the Parliament, we look up to that, and I look forward to working with whoever becomes the legitimate elected Speaker by this body. And our friends from Federal Junior representing the people of District Number 9, I have come to exercise that, and I look up to God to direct me and lead me in this process.
So you go understand now that Rachel Kun was impersonating, right? He was. Because Joseph Boakai caused it. He caused the country to run the way we're running. Because he facilitated. If you are going to leave the people, leave us to solve our problem. Not facilitate the people. Giving an armed men to come here and brutalize. Joseph Boakai is his own problem. When I talk, some people say, oh, everything is Joseph Boakai. But Joseph Boakai run the affairs of this country. Everything that happened will be here liable for it. He brought people here. Joseph Boakai brought people here to point the capital building down. Joseph Boakai honor the director of police, the justice minister, Jeremiah Kun, to bring the capital building down. They bring the building. They were in charge. If you employ security to mine your car bust into, who do you want responsible for it? You're the security, right? So they were in charge. They came here and brutalized us. They came here and did a lot of things. In the face of the police, Representative Kun giving instruction to Dre Maka. Have you heard the police talking about it? Is it the kind of government we brought to chief?
Because the people not ready for no Mandingo speaker. That would be clear charity here. Liberia not ready now for Mandingo speaker. There's a fear that when you get Mandingo power to turn the whole thing into Muslim Benin. So Musa Belete will say he can turn the whole country into a Muslim state. When he made Musa Belete speaker, so that thing away into a poor fear in the people. Because the people not ready for no Mandingo speaker. That would be clear charity here. Liberia not ready now for Mandingo speaker. There's a fear that when you get Mandingo power to turn the whole thing into Muslim Benin. So Musa Belete will say he can turn the whole country into a Muslim state. When he made Musa Belete speaker, so that thing away into a poor fear in the people.
If they say that our country is safe, we cannot practice in our respective professions. When we are at war, pastors will not be respected to go to church to preach. When we are at war, medical doctors will not be able to go to hospitals except on a coercion or sanitary condition. When we are at war, lawyers will not be able to go to court to practice. That's why when you see these things happening, whether you are a lawyer, whether you are working a profession, you got to step down and protect your country so that that country will provide an avenue for you to be the kind of person that you want to be. And that's where we are now. What happened on yesterday was wrong. It's still wrong, and no matter what it is wrong. We are seeing things happening in this country, and people are now seeing it as being right because the Asa is there. And these are things that we got to be stand up. To be a patriot, you have to stand first on the side of the law, because the politicians will go away. The regime will pass away, but your country will stay. The law will stay. Your patriotism vow will continue to stay on. And these are things that we got to stand up for. It doesn't matter how people feel, what kind of side you want to be on. We just got to speak to the truth, and that is very much important.
His Excellency, George Weah, President of Liberia. Our board noted that His Excellency's victory as the African Political Leader of the Year 2023 is a testament to his contributions to promoting peace, African culture and development, youth and sports development, and advancing Africa's agenda globally. It is also a recognition of his critical role in the infrastructural and socio-economic development of his country, as well as his people-friendly policies. He has continued to advocate for peace and free and fair elections in the ECOWAS sub-region, and this was demonstrated by a show of statesmanship and iconic posturing by accepting electoral loss and congratulating the winner. While he arguably had options as a sitting president, he chose the path of honor, peace, and the defense of democracy. His emergence reaffirms our position that he has remained one of the continent's leading light, as he had continued to demonstrate great faith in the African project, promoting African dignity and helping to change the negative narratives about the continent.
Oh yeah, so we're back again, man. Thank you that you joined us. Wherever you are, in Liberia, out of Liberia, your time zone, whatever it is, it's good that we are together again. We've got the bits and pieces on our plate to share with you. Alongside it, 10,000 we are giving you. The King's Cash giveaway. Start playing. It's 10,000. The jackpot. Hit it. It is the holiday. A jackpot in Monrovia, Liberia. It is called 10,000 United States dollars. Oh, did I say 10,000 US? No, 10,000 Liberian. Sorry. We all run into error because we aren't infallible. Only God is. I know, I'm thinking about the other side that gave 10,000. So the King's Cash giveaway is 10,000. Start playing now. Dial star 799 star 24 hatch. Play with just 200 Liberian dollars or $1.50 US. Go ahead of me and start playing wherever you are, whatever you're doing on this holiday, Unification Day, in the reign of Joseph Yeman Boakai. Dial star 799 star 24 hash, 200 Liberian dollars or $1.50 you play with. It is holiday, so that in the evening you can get your evening jolly. What a great day. But before we get started, we can help but acknowledge God Almighty, that He is God in Himself, of Himself, by Himself, and our benefit. He is our benefit. Without Him, we are nothing. With Him, we are everything. And so we place all that we are into all that He is by His sovereignty and personality. He kept watch over us throughout the night and has allowed us to see this holiday called Unification Day. Empty unification, no substance unification, nothing absolutely. Anyway, it's constitutional, so we accept it from a constitutional standpoint. So it's a rest day. Everybody on their sabbatical rest day. The country is denied millions of dollars that what you have when the country is a subservient state, the economy is bad off, is in dire condition, and the politicians are concerned about themselves, what they can get, how they can stage a coup to move a person they don't like and maintain that coup or occultic group instead of looking at those things that are essential economically to keep the economy reviving and growing. That what you have. So we are in unification day, but we will say nothing about unification day other than what we are saying. Just an acknowledgement because we are in the day. So let me say, I can say happy unification. No, because there isn't any unification, but we commemorating the Constitution. The Constitution says unification. So Joseph Yamabuaka comes and say unification. Even his predecessors gave the proclamation declaring May 14th as Unification Day. So we can put anything at the feet in terms of whatever at the president. That's the Constitution. His predecessors did just that. But what I do know, there is something called discretion indifference. You can come in and using your discretion as spies, change some things, get the economy moving. But if it is sleeping and sleeping, then it is a dead country, dead. It's another day again, people. Thank you all for coming on. It's holiday in Liberia, rest day. The country is sitting, sleeping, relaxing. The economy has gone to bed. Absolutely nothing is happening. Why other countries around the world or regional countries are moving, their economy is booming. The economists are at work. They are doing everything they can to generate the revenue they can generate domestically and other issues to keep the economy thriving. For us, we take pleasure in resting. When you have scores of officials or politicians or state actors who only care about their pockets and are very rhetorical, that's what you have. And you can blame anybody for these unnecessary holidays because the country itself isn't serious. When I say the country isn't serious, not necessarily that the politicians are the ones who are to blame exclusively. Also, the people. You've got the right to alter that expression in the Constitution. Alter, if you understand the reference in the power unto you, you can alter a legislation. In other countries, when they get fed up with a day like this, they assemble in mass, in the multitudes, not multitude, but multitudes. If it would take them 3-4 days, they will cloud or they will flood the capital, demanding that this holiday or these holidays are obsolete. They are archaic. They need not be in the law any longer. And the legislators must now get to work to repeal some of those archaic and obsolete holidays. But you only understand it from a political standpoint. But you can alter a number of things. That is your right. That is the reason they are representing you. You are their employers. They are your servants. They work at your will and pleasure. But if you don't know who you are, the politicians use you. Politicians like to feed on the ignorance and gullibility of the masses. That is why you need to expose yourself. You need to educate yourself. You need to take advantage of whatever the education that will come your way, because that is the only empowerment you have for altering anything. If you are not exposed, then you are a good candidate to be tossed to and fro, to be used like a thing and not a person to be respected, or people to be respected, as Martin Luther King would say before his death. Do not allow people to toss you to and fro. Be exposed. You can alter. Those holidays being there for record ages now, and they're not helping the country in any given way. Just sit and ask any sound economist from another country. Ask him that, given our situation, 24 hours the economy is down, how many dollars have we lost? And when that person, he or she, tells you, you'll get vexed with these people here. Your anger will double. But you can see why this country is always excited to feed on other people. Just yesterday, they were excited. The government was excited celebrating a 63 million grant to the budget by the European Union, meaning they gave that money to the government to help their budget. Just like you have 150 and you have XYZ responsibility, and you need some money, you need addition. Then somebody say, that budget you have of 150, I guess you will need other things. I know that you've been talking about this, you've been talking about that, so I will add 100 to that 150, which will give you 250. Another person would say, oh, you want to embark upon this, and it's very important for your growth or your institution or whatever the situation. So I will add $100 there. That will give you 350, the high looking. So if you look at it, essentially, you're doing nothing much. The people around, they're the one augmenting, they're the one increasing, they're giving you life, they're giving you strength. So with that 150 you have, if they don't come from outside, if nobody coming from outside, no external subsidy or support, you can't do anything. You will be crippled. That's how the country looks. They are excited. No country is an island, but Liberia own is worse. It's too bad off, too pitiful. Everything they're begging. Beyond that, they went to the showcase equipment, and I saw a few boxes being displayed by the police director that they gave them detectors for drivers to know whether the driver has alcohol in his system or not. They showcase with that one. Ask yourself, if you are a citizen, what pride do you have as a citizen? What can you tell a foreigner? How do you feel in the presence of a foreigner regionally, to say, let us not go beyond the region, regionally, talking about how his country is producing this, her country has produced that, they have the structure in place there, and you, what can you say proudly of your country, Liberia, too? You will just be there in an embarrassing atmosphere. Shame. Because your country is producing nothing. Your country from time to time has never ever lived its independence. Never. So it is not a sovereign country. It is sovereign by constitution, by laws, by papers, but it is not sovereign by self-reliance. No, it is a subservient country. That is why anything that people give Liberia, they are excited, they are motivated, they showcase it. I told you people about Ghana. Those of you in Ghana following me, they know COVID-19. The Ghanaian president, former president Nana Akufo-Addo, was talking about Ghanaian factories, Ghanaian scientists, Ghanaian doctors experimenting, producing in their lab by experimentation medicines or solution to COVID-19. While we're hoping on America, hoping on other countries. Everybody must just give to Liberia, give to Liberia. Everybody. That is why the few natural resources that God gave us, the people say, since your country, you're lacking innovation, you're lacking patriotism and nationalism, you're more concerned about your pocket, showcasing yourselves individually, call yourselves honorable, her honor, her days. Since you're concerned about honorifics or titles, we will put something at your disposal. We'll exploit your resources. We'll take it. We'll make the maximum use of it because we have the knowledge. Not that you don't have the knowledge, but you lack self-esteem, self-reliance, integrity. So since you don't know who you are as a country, though you proud yourself as being independent and oldest African country on the continent, we will use you, take your resources, do a reproduction, then we'll give you small of it after we have gained millions of it. That is when you hear the Liberian government officials sit down, say the signing, then they call the press and say the EU has given Liberia 8.5 million. The World Bank has given this 9.2 million. Then what you see? The excitement from the followers. They say, oh, the government is popular. The government is strong. Then they put the politics into it and say the other government, what the other government did not achieve, this government is doing it. And the white people, please accept my bias professionally to sound racist, because that is the reality. So the white men just look at the blacks, the black Liberians, and say, look at them. They're excited for peanuts. They don't know who they are. I will always reference Burkina Faso president because that is why they're behind the guy to kill him. The men say, going forward, Burkina Faso natural resources as given by God will be used for Burkina Faso and not any foreign external exploitation. That is why they want to kill the guy today. And the record is there, is clear that what Ibrahim Traore did in the short time, how he been able to transform Burkina Faso, his predecessors were not able to do that. The institution he built, the system he set in place, the kind of people he should have relation with to help Burkina Faso. Today, that is why when they were trying to move with the fifth coup, because there were four, he survived four coups, four. They met him four times from within and out. Protected by who? The very people. You saw a couple of weeks ago when Burkina Faso, all of the citizens came outside. Those in other countries, all of them, they rise up in protest against the West and others Why were they doing that? Because they saw and they continue to see what Captain Ibrahim Traore, let's take the captain and call him president because that's what they call leader. President Traore is doing in the country at the age of 36 years old boy. 36 years. Those of you who will be bragging with age, it doesn't matter. It's not the issue of the age, it's the vision. God never allowed people to brag on age. It's the vision. The vision is the difference. Difference. I say difference, so difference. That the people look at it and say, yes, this guy is a leader. They after him. The main economy is working 24/7. The economy of Burkina Faso is working 24/7. They begin moving from one end to another. He has enhanced the energy sector in his country, the educational sector, just name it. Most of these officials here, they are aware. They follow international news every day. And this boy and Bouaka came to power just around the same time. He just, by ascendancy, older than Bouaka in months. But he hit the ground running the first day. He did not and cannot allow his economy to go to bed. I saw a documentary, or not documentary, but a news flash that he called all of his cabinet officials. They had only two significant items on the agenda for that cabinet meeting: the energy and educational sector. The Peking is visionary. He's taking it time, issue by issue, sector after sector. And all of the guys around him, the women, they believe in him, they trust him. As young as he is, his economy is on 24/7. And you have these people, that what happened when you sell your birthright. You sell your birthright. I bet you, let Liberia say they're doing this, they're doing that, they're protecting their resources. They can never, ever, never, ever. Because you don't get nothing to survive. And you say holiday, every day, holiday, holiday. That's the poor people are the ones who suffer. Bouaka and his officials and everybody, they enjoying, they having their different gatherings. They got everything. The speaker, Bouaka speaker, Richard Kun, he and his guys now, Richard Kun house, they enjoying the holiday. They have the thousands of United States dollars. All of the ministers and directors and assistant directors, all of them, they enjoying right now because they have the United States dollars. But here you are. You thinking how the day going to end with you. They don't care. So this country, don't see it as an independent country. Independent means you are totally reliant on yourself 80%, because no man is an island. Everybody needs everybody somewhere, somehow. But you can be totally relying on other people. If you are a Christian, let me give you this so you understand it from a biblical perspective. When you come out of the Bible, you put it in a general context. And then you can also put it in a political context. If you look at the events in the Bible, God never helped anybody who did not have independence. Jesus never helped anybody, never changed anybody's condition who did not have mental independence. You look it up. If you are a Christian, you look it up, you will see it. Every time God was ready to act, he will make sure that you act first. And to act first means you must have something. That something is what is referred to as independence. This country is not an independent country. It's just there because we came out. It was better this country just be under other people, you know, like how other countries are. Well, it's empty. This is an empty place. No reason why the people outside can refer to it as village. No development, nothing. You're saying 24/7, your economy is down, sitting down. Okay. So that's it. That's it. Thank you all for coming on. I can't appreciate you people the more. Today is a holiday in Liberia. It's a holiday. Everybody stays home. Enjoy yourself. If you don't get money to do anything well, then that's it. If you have money, then you are in the holiday. If you have no money, you aren't in the holiday. That is why we are giving you 10K today. You have to take the 10K. Take the 10K. That star 79 and star 24 hatch. Play with $1 or play with $1 or $1.50, and then you can have your 10K. That holiday. So I learned that Real Madrid is playing today, and Real Madrid and Real Mallorca. You see that? So you will need money too. Y'all who Real Madrid fans, y'all will need money. So that star 79 and star 24 hatch, play with $200 Liberian dollars or $1.50. Also, you want to have 10,000 on the other side. Liberty Fortune is proud to be associated with Real Talk and heard on Real Talk.
It's your bonario, Sibiri Pila Patala. Liberty Fortune Company is here for every one of us. If you want to get money easy, buy Liberty Fortune scratch card. Scratch and win, they will make it a get tapa. Hey, yeah. If you want to get money easy, buy Liberty Fortune scratch card. Scratch and win, they will make it a get tapa. Hey, yeah. So let me see your hands up for Liberty. I say we gotta keep Pafate. I say we gotta keep Pafate. Let me see your hands up for Liberty. I say we gotta keep Pafate. I say we gotta keep Pafate. You can play with your $1 US or equivalent 200. Simple mathematics. When you buy a Liberty, you win your money straight. Liberty Fortune scratch and win game, making things easy. Just go to any scratch card booth, then you ask for Liberty. You buy a card, then you pay. Stand a chance to win. You can win up to 10,000 US. If you wanna get money easy, buy Liberty Fortune scratch card. Scratch and win, they will make it a get tapa. Hey, yeah. If you wanna get money easy, buy Liberty Fortune scratch card. Scratch and win, they will make it a get tapa. Hey, yeah. The other game the people bring, they help you to pay your children's school fee. Yeah. So come and play a game. The other game the people bring, they help you to pay your car repair. Yeah. So come and we have money. It's all I give the people bring. You have to improve your business. Yeah. So come and play a game. It's all I give the people bring. You have to pay your fine hustle. Yeah. So come and we have. If you wanna get money easy, by a liberty fortune scratch. Scratch and wing, they will make you a gay kappa. Hey, yeah. If you wanna get money easy, by a liberty fortune scratch. Scratch and wing, they will make you a gay kappa. Hey, yeah. So let me see your hands up for liberty. I say we gotta keep Pafate. I say we gotta keep Pafate. Let me see your hands up for liberty. I say we gotta keep Pafate. I say we gotta keep Pafate. So let me see your hands up for liberty. I say we gotta keep Pafate.
Oh, yeah, kicking poverty out of your individual life. You can do it. Get out of poverty with, by, and through Liberty Fortune. Let me acknowledge I didn't, but let me do just few. You've come on, and then we get into our point outs as quickly as we can. Claudia Addison, you are on. Claudia Addison, you always ask it. I'm doing good by God's grace. Heron T. Toll, you are on. Jackson T. Poning and Romancio Latupan of Iron Factory Block Titan Intellectual Center. You guys are on. Good to have you guys on. Hope that you are doing good at the Intellectual Center Block Titan, Iron Factory Block Titan. I heard your district representative saying, I think I have it. I will play it later. He's Edward Papi Flomo. Ralph Cooper from Denver, Colorado. Tina Cooper from Denver, Colorado. Also, Emmanuel Koya, Lawrence Harris, Unification. No, don't wish me happy unification. Well, what is there? You know, when you wish, if somebody is benefiting from something, so the person respond in return. Well, we're happy about this unification. It's just constitutional, that's all. I think they said the president, I saw something on the executive mansion website. They say he was delivering his unification message this afternoon. I saw something on the executive mansion website before coming on the air. Okay. William Derry Wulu, you on. Pastor Melvin Destiny Power, you are on from the United States. Good Musa Sharif from Gardnersville. Otaka Kahu from Maryland, the United States. Stanley Sharif from Gardnersville City. You people have speaker now. There should be no complaint. We should see unprecedented development over there. D Love Demo, you are from Johnsonville, where you are following. Amara Jala Amara from Brussels, Belgium. Tobatsi, you've on. Ibrahim Abu Sharif from Painesville. Nevet Pevet, you are on. Happy Unification Day. Nothing happened in the day. The day just look at that kind of way. The whole country is sad. The whole country is sick. Former Yen, you are on from Grand Cape Man County. Solo what calls here your comfort zone. Elisha Davids, you are also on. Okay. These, I can call all of the names. You people are in your thousand and still coming down. Time is of the essence. Before I get into the crux of our discussion this morning, this is equally important. We find ourselves in a time that we need not eat crow with shame. No, we are battling. It is a warfare. We can survive the warfare without your help, without your assistance. The government receives help. The government calls for help. Equally, we on the side, we can be ashamed of that. There is no sin. It is not a crime. Neither is it a violation. It is required. It is even accepted by God. In 1 Kings chapter 4, what did God through Elisha tell the woman? After she lay her concern, he told her, he said, go to your neighbors and ask them for help. Don't be ashamed. Meaning, just as you have, if you can just do, I have gone ahead of you to touch their hearts. You look at 1 Kings chapter 4. They had taken her son, her two sons, her husband, left her in a dilemma, a difficult situation. And as per their culture then, if she didn't fulfill her part of the bargain, then they would take her children into slavery. That was troubling her. So she went to the king, not the king, but the men of God, and he asked her two questions. What do you have in your house? For us, we have the radio station. So God said, okay, you have the radio station now. Then what did Elisha tell the woman? He said, go ask your neighbor. Who our neighbor? All of you who follow. We are going into a time that is going to be even difficult than you think we are now. We would need your help. This is not a crime, it's not a sin. Others will see, they think that, oh yeah, King 7 Day, the people struggling, they're begging for money. You rather beg, honestly, survive to do what you want to do, God blesses it, than to hold back, pretending like all is well when there isn't, all is not well, but you're grieving within. We need your support. We will be coming out very shortly with the detail so that you know what to do. We can do this thing. We can fight this battle from now till 2029 all by ourselves. You are not our lifeblood, but you can help us. You got other responsibilities. You got other things, other priorities. We're not saying that you should leave everything or take everything that you have and give it to Kings 8.5. But the little that you can help us with, we will appreciate it. We need you. We need you. We can pretend like everything is okay. So over the days, as soon as everything is sorted out managerially, you will know how it ought to be. But I thought to share it with you ahead of time so that when the information is out, then you will already, it wouldn't be a surprise. But we need you. Please, we need you. Whatever you can do, we will appreciate it. This is your station, as you people always say. When something is yours, you support it. You take ownership of it. It is not just the excitement and the motivation and the compliments and the praises that this is our station and the station is. Why we appreciate that it inspires us, but equally, everything we're dealing with are material. Yeah, we can't go with praise. Praise can't do anything. Praise can't give us this. Praise can't give us that. You can go to the store, you want something, and you say, oh, we came with this praise. And then the person will say, oh, okay, you people, okay. Just a hint, yeah, time. time you came on, you use your resources, your energy, everything. Let me not exploit it. Let's get started. But just so you know, we need you. We need you. Be thinking about it too. Whichever way you can be of help to the institution, we appreciate it. Even if you told somebody that I'm helping my station, Kings, they will be excited. The person say, oh, but how can I be of help to? Sometimes you tell your friend too. You tell your friend, those of you who are in Liberia, those of you who are out of Liberia, wherever you are, you can also reach out to some of your colleagues and just tell them that, oh, look, I need your assistance. We got this. We got doing this. We got this doing. We in this. We're in that. And so I need you to come along with me to help. And the person will be glad to do that. You know, when you help somebody, and God can open doors. Yeah. So it's not anything shame. You can even tell other people it's not a shame thing. No. Yeah. If you can move by faith, listen, you will die. There are too many people under this ground, or too many frames under this ground. Instead of saying it, they say they were ashamed. I know a fellow in this time, his institution broke down just like that. He running. Just imagine the man running a radio station. You know what it means to run radio station, to manage radio station in this time. You think that small thing be going through? When you're not know, you're not know. Yaka. It takes a visionary person like AB to manage this station. People think that this station here, oh, Joe, we are putting everything, Joe. No, that is not true. This is AB. When people put something at your disposal, is they trust your vision, your capability, your connections. So they place it in on your lap. It becomes your responsibility now to not only sustain, but enhance and expand it. So you don't think that this station here, that Joe, we are pumping all of the money. No, they all AB like that. AB's responsibility. This is AB's project. Just so you know, this is it, because the concept that many of you have, oh, that Joe, we are station, Joe, we are putting. No, if somebody gave me something and says, Sam Andrews, we need you to manage this. It doesn't say the people going to put all. You have to move. You have to be proactive. You have to envision. You have to create relationships. You have to connect. This fellow was running a radio station in this time. The radio station was unique. He felt that when the people set the radio station up, they were going to put every other thing at his disposal. They were going to be on a silver platter. When they set everything up, they just put it on his lap and say, you develop the business model. And then you can generate revenue and sustain the station. In this culture of ours, where it's not easy, the radio stations are many, very many. Very many. The fellow used to say, he ain't got a face to go to this place. He ain't got a face to do that one. He ain't got a face to talk to this person because he carried on. All the people that were in that place, they got vexed with him. Today, the radio station break down. He ain't existing. Because he say, oh, how many, this life we're living. That's why God told the woman, he said, Madam, go out into your neighbors. Ask them for help. Meaning, I have already touched their hearts. I am the God of provision. If you keep on sitting and worrying and hoping that somebody will come your way, it will not happen. When you move, then I act. Kafka, the book, what's the title of the book? I think it's written by Erich Fremont. I will try to get it. But the introduction of the book is about hope. Hope. Not hope by theory, but hope by action. That if you have hope and you're just hoping that things will happen and you're not acting, how is it a hope? The introduction of the book, he laid out a very good scene. using the pseudonym Kafka. And he said Kafka had a situation and he needed the help of God. Fast forward, he saw himself at Heaven's Gate. And from his childhood, he sat at the gate. The gate was open for him. In essence, what you are saying, that in life is if you're not proactive, if you're not exerting your effort, if people don't know your needs, nobody going to reach out to you. But there are people who are ready, who even want to be of help to you before you can even say, but they will expect that you say. And when you say, then they're ready. So Kafka is sitting at the place. He's past his teen. He's into his adulthood. He passed his adulthood into his manhood. He passed his manhood into his prime or old age. And when the time came, the angels came to close the gate. Kafka, he's very old. When the angels came to close the gate, that's when he tried struggling to wake up to enter. And what did they tell him? That this place been open for you long since, and you just did not move. And now it's closed. And Kafka remained right there and died. That's how some people under the ground today. That's how some people don't get opportunities. When you need something, say it. God will help. Don't feel that people will mock you. They will say all manner of things about you. Let them say. But you need to survive. And that's how God said you should go about it. Why did you think God told the woman, go to the communities and ask your neighbor, meaning I've already touched their hearts. I've already said it. You just need to demonstrate the faith. So we're telling you, we need your assistance. We can fight this battle that is tense and it's going to get more tense going into 2029. All by ourselves. We need you. We need your assistance. You hear? With that said, now let's get into what we have and then we're out. Keep playing the King's Cash Giver. It's 10,000, my people. That weekend, no, not weekend, that midweek. But it is holiday. They say holiday. That means nobody going anywhere, no business open, nobody going to work. So when you get 10,000, it can help. It can do plenty of things. After the holiday, the next day can be dry. As they say in Liberia, there are always two holidays. The holiday itself, then after the holiday, because the late thing that you get, you're not spending something away now. The next day, nothing. You can hear everybody complaining. So when you get 10,000 Liberian dollars, you can use 3K or 4K. Tomorrow, you get 6K. You can start your day with it. Yeah, so you're playing, yeah, that star 79 star 24 hash play with 200 Liberian dollars or $1.50. I will be reminding you about your assistance, your contribution to Kings 88.5 as we go on with the lecture. Let's start with the government, not the government of Liberia, but the United States government. Ruth, I'm doing fine. I've not seen you for a while. Ruth Boduo-Bine. Yeah, I'm doing fine, my dear. Good to see you. Yeah. Okay. So the United States government has moved. And this comes from Congress. Let me share with you before I can say what I need to say to that. All of us in Liberia, we have to appreciate those people out of this country who remit whatever they can Sometimes when they tell you that things are not okay from where they are, you will just reach the conclusion and say, oh, the people in America, they now want here, they did, they that, but you don't know what they are going through. The second term under Donald Trump, or this reign under Donald Trump, is not easy. So yeah, what they came up with, let me read it word for word to you. U.S. lawmakers have introduced a draft bill proposing a 5% excise tax on all remittances sent abroad. All remittances sent abroad. They are proposing 5% excise tax on all. What that means is you will pay. When you're sending anything, you have to, I won't say in an elementary way that you will understand it. Then you will know that when somebody say, even though you're asking for $50, but I beg you, I get $50, I will send you $40, I will send you $30, and you know the situations is this. When they start explaining one or two things around it now that one can make the person invest, yeah, they ain't even know. Say, oh, look at it. She said you are sending it all one. She can't call it down again. That's some of the thing. Everything, because our country, you can just do things free. You don't pay for nothing. If this country, if we're really having a system, this country will be developed. Do you know that the road that you park your car on, you have to pay for that? There are too many things. Not only the thing that you see people running all around, then you say, oh, that only that one. No. So what this means is African countries now, African countries or Africans or people who depend heavily on people from abroad to send money for them, to send other things. That what they call remittance, meaning they're remitting it to you. The word remit means to send. So they're sending it. With somebody you in America and somebody say, my man, I'm sending $100 for you. They are remitting. They are sending that money. That money they're sending, there will be a cut, meaning they will have to pay a percentage for the sending or just take a sending fee. So what's going to happen now? People, they will reorder. They will reorder their priorities because it's not easy. Let me just conclude. Let me finish with it. Let's say the bill unveiled by House Republicans states that the tax will be paid. The tax will be paid by the sender. Yeah? The tax will be paid. At 5%, they will take 5% from there. The bill unveiled by House Republicans states that the tax will be paid by the sender and collected quarterly, not yearly, quarterly, by the U.S. Treasury Department. That's why there. They'll pay. So, let me say to all of us, because we're depending on our friends to on that side to help us as an institution, Kings 88.5. But those of you who don't know what the people going through, don't be emotional. If you have somebody in America or in France or Germany, but let's just say America because the American government, we know about the other countries, but just take it generally, wherever they are around the world, and they tell you what the situation is, why they cannot do, or why they cannot do as you require in terms of much, you have to understand that if there is a delay, say the person say, oh, I will send you $100 on Thursday, and then tomorrow is Thursday, and Thursday comes, you won't hear anything, you won't see anything. and you start showing that emotion, that anger blasting. No. It simply means the person is sorting out things and working out things so that they can get it. Probably things may not just be right at that time. I want you to understand the new government of the United States is taking drastic measures on a number of things. So when you're hearing these things, don't get vexed, keep your calm, and then, but it is going to affect the African countries, people who rely heavily on their relatives, friends, and living in the United States. So they're going to be a court. The sender will have to pay. It will be done on a quarterly basis. So they know what to do. They have their system. If you're sending $100, that 5%. If you're sending 75, just like that. Material, so not only money. Okay. So let's go to Capitol Hill politics. Not necessarily the tense, coerced atmosphere that led Richie Kuhn to take the presidency, but what came out from the onset and how some of you didn't help the process at all. We know that there were deceptions. People betrayed CDC. They fixed some things. They were insincere. Things were said. We know that the party too did not really do well, and some people blamed the party, and the party came out to state its position, and people felt that CDC delivered to be placed on the gala the resigned speaker Fonati Kofa, when CDC did not do that. Moreover, most of the people will blame former President Weah of not interfering, not helping Fonati Kofa, not doing anything. Some people said how he left the country, the crisis was on, and he's moving from country to country. The man does not care, he's not a leader. All kinds of awful things were said. But some of those people who say all of those things, they know that Weah is not the lousy type of leader. He's not the attention-seeking type. He's not the type that when he wants to do something, it will be all in the media everywhere before it can even happen. It is based on that they used to say that Weah as president was mumu. Things were happening, Weah was not talking. Because our country, we used to people who would just magnify and showcase things for everybody to know, for everybody to be talking about it before he or she can even do. If you've been studying Weah's life, Weah is the typology. He's the type of James 1:19. James 1:19. You know what James 1:19 said? Be slow to speak, quick to hear, and slow to anger. There are three words over there. Say be slow, be quick to hear, slow to speak. Meaning analyze well, take everything into consideration, have a full understanding of what is unfolding, how it is unfolding, who are those responsible, what would be the impact, be it negative or positive, and how to arrive at a solution. It doesn't happen in a twinkling of an eye. It takes time. It calls for perseverance, for patience, for understanding. There will be disagreements. It calls for opening oneself to understanding and accepting people's disagreements, because finding solution is not on a silver platter. Then he say, don't move into anger. Anger simply means everybody has that. It is divine. Never ever in the Bible that God said people should not get vexed. No. The only thing he said, let not the sun go down on your anger. Meaning, do not allow 24 hours to pass without putting it out. When 24 hours pass and you still have it, then that is the problem. The very Bible tells us of God's anger, but that kind of anger is righteous anger. And the same thing unto us, righteous anger. So that is, look at where, even out of the presidency, people, you see we are working, but you don't see it being publicized. So because it is not publicized, because people are not talking about it yet, because it's not being even discussed within his surrounding, the people say, oh, the man not doing anything. The man abandoned his own man, his own countryman. He did nothing for Speaker Kofa in this whole thing. In fact, he one of the men who made sure that Kofa lost the speakership, or Bouaka did all kind of things to Kofa. Listen, a sound leader doesn't rush and rush. Watch me carefully. I'll break it down. In the Bible, I took those two words from the Bible in Ecclesiastics. Rush means you just come out to say quick. Before you can even think, you already say. You don't analyze nothing. You just say, blah, 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 blah. Rush means you're more itching to talk. Even when they say, oh, my mechanic, you itching, you want to say something quick. In Ecclesiastes, go in Ecclesiastes 3, you see rush and rash. The man who was at the center of it all, what did the man say? The man made it clear that was the one in the forefront of everything to make sure that it was settled. Nobody stood by him the way former President George Weah stood by him in that crisis. He went on to say, when President Weah called him and said, Fonati, come back to this country. This thing here, we have to get involved to settle it. Weah was looking at the evolving magnitude, how it was going to be difficult. You see, leader, you see, hey man, what's the word? Me, I like to sound descriptive, because there's one of the ways you can communicate with your audience so that they pick up that imaginative picture too. Yeah, that's why all of these things, the Englishman put it there. Weah understood the magnitude from the onset that he wanted to kill it before it grew. But the speaker was not understanding, he was not seeing it as former President Weah saw it. Sorry to say, but the former speaker in that situation from the onset was myopic, meaning he was short-sighted. He was only seeing it from where he was. Former President Weah was seeing it from beyond. It's just like the woman in the place who have a full understanding, and her children or one of her sons going into a terrible situation, and she sees danger ahead, and she continues to advise him, say, don't go, don't go, don't go. And everybody would think that, oh, she just don't want the boy to go. But she's seeing what the boy is not seeing, that danger lies ahead. The same thing in Acts of the Apostles. It happened. These guys who were with Paul was guiding them. And they had intended to go on this expedition. Paul saw from where he was beyond. He said, gentle guys, I advise you don't go. I see trouble. Something is about to unfold. If you guys go, there will be disaster. The same way, former president, we are advising Kofi, I say, I see disaster. They think, come back quick, come back. When they ignored Paul's advice, they felt that they could do it on their own. So Paul said, no problem, you go. That's why when you're doing certain things, when former president, we are advise you, you insist that you want to do it, the man can leave you. You ever saw we are forcing people? You ever see we are coming and say, oh, I insist, or I encourage the man. I try talking to him, he won't go, but I will make sure that, no, we are leave you. And that's how you do with people in life. That's why the prodigal son, God put the prodigal son even in the Bible. And when he saw it for himself, and he the one came back and confessed. So when they went, what happened? Disaster. The few that went back, they reported to Paul. They confessed. They say, Chief, that call you are calling us not to go. That's true. We experienced disaster. Some of our men did not make it. Former President Weah saw it. He saw disaster. And he knew that it was going to be heavy. That fanatic cover stuff I'm explaining to you, he the one, his confession. Those of you who said that Weah was not involved, that is why you as seditious, I've told you this thing, AB has told you, I don't know how you want us to say it. It is not everything that the people, you hear the people from the other side saying you get jitter. The campaign, this political strategy is they will say things to you. They will come up. They will say some things about your political leader. They will say some things about your partisans and in the hierarchy. Just so you will feel uncomfortable. You start saying something. You start feeling weak because it's part of the warfare strategy to discourage you. Since they know that you have the political heavyweight in George Weah, that if an election was held today, George Weah will win massively. They put you in a worrying position. So they were telling you all of those things, and then some of you believe it. How would we be here? How are we as a citizen, the political leader of the Congress for Democratic Change, not get involved? Even if he doesn't want to get involved, but he will be aware. That's another aspect of it. So he was aware and he knew it. The way he reasoned, Fonati Kofa was not reasoning that way. Obviously, Fonati Kofa messed himself up. You don't blame anybody. You don't blame CDC. They were only telling you, United Party people were telling you, they were politics, they were preaching, oh, la United CDC, own party, the man, own party deliver here. That is a blatant lie. The party could not force those people. They are individuals, they are men and women. The party did what it could. But you can't force the people when they are resolved. When somebody has decided to do what he or she wants to do, you can persuade the person, but if the person resists your persuasion and insists that he will do what he has decided, there's nothing you can do about it. So the party could not do anything. So the lie that CDC betrayed their own man, they went and put the man out. Weah was not involved, all that kind of stuff. Listen to Fonati Kofa explaining. Wise leader don't talk much. They don't go, blah, 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 blah. No. Wise leader call you and hold your ear advise you. That thing was playing. Fonati Kofa, sorry to say, but he wasn't smart at all politically. It was playing. Now the man will admit that we are stood with him, the only man who was with him, the only man who was with him.
He did well in standing by me. He touched those he wanted to touch that could have made a difference. And overall, I appreciate all that he did to stand by me in this time of crisis. President Weah, when I was in Rome, was involved. He got involved. He didn't have to be in Liberia because you can pick up the phone and call anybody. He was one of those who first alerted me to take this seriously when I was in Rome. Okay.
Did you hear him? He was one of the first persons that alerted me to take this thing serious, meaning to advise that my man, the thing I seen here, that serious thing. And the way I seen it, it will get bigger, it will get serious, it will enlarge than you think it is. Put sense in your head, allow common sense to prevail, move from order, you come here, let us fight this thing. Those of you who say Weah was not doing anything, you're listening to that man, your man's own confession. You say Weah was not involved.
He was one of those who first alerted me to take this seriously when I was in Rome. Okay. In fact, he told me to return and forget about the visit with the Pope. You need to return now so we can fix this. But again, it was my choice as a Catholic. This is Wednesday. The appointment to see the Pope is Friday. Do I then turn around and come to go save my seat for a job and leave the opportunity of a lifetime? That was my decision. To the extent that those 2 days cost me the speakership, it's my responsibility. But to say President Weah wasn't working, he was working. One thing about him in this crisis was that he worked a lot from the background and said, look, I'm here.
Did you get that again? On a line, he worked a lot from the background. He worked a lot from the background, meaning 24/7, Weah was on that crisis. But Weah did not need to call journalists or call press conference or be speaking to people here and there. Because that's how you people wanted or you're used to. And this is why the old politicians, they just make fun and nothing can happen. Real politicians work behind the scene, just as they said diplomats work behind the scene. Weah was fully involved, making sure that everything was done right, so that it would not reach. The pieces of advice Weah offered, had these guys just listened, it would not have even gone to court. You all say we are not involved, we are not doing anything. Unity Party people, that's what they were saying. And you seditionists, you believe it. Together with other people, you believe it. You look at Weah that man, you look at and say he will not get involved. He will just sit down and look. And take this, Weah is naturally concerned, naturally good. The only reason you're not hearing it now because I got caught up with time. But you will hear individual panelists talking about Weah's attitude, both before becoming president and post-president. Post-president means after president. 3 persons. Just his attitude, just the looking at her leadership, then the citing situations, critical situations, his intervention, how he handled it. Winner. That's why the book, they say the prophet is not respected in his own home. Weah did everything to save Fonati Kofa and save that crisis. Weah were fully involved. That the man himself saying it.
Job and leave the opportunity of a lifetime. That was my decision. To the extent that those 2 days cost me the speakership, it's my responsibility. But to say President Weah wasn't working, he was working. One thing about him in this crisis was that he worked a lot from the background and said, look, in this crisis was that He worked a lot from the background. He worked a lot from the background and said, look, that he worked a lot from the background and said, look, what's that? He worked a lot from the background and said, look, I'm here. Whatever you want to do, tell me, I will do it.
Can you say that to anybody? Can you help anybody in that way? You know what that means? If somebody tells you whatever, meaning the only thing I can do for you, I cannot sacrifice myself by death for you. But anything beyond that, I am willing. Even if I am sleeping midnight and you call me, I will wake up to move. I will risk my life to get there to you. Whatever financial assistance, whatever discussion, whoever that is involved that you need me to talk to, whatever the time, I will be willing. That's what that expression means. Whatever means everything involved, everything that it takes to have the matter resolved. It is not about you any longer. It is my responsibility now to show that selflessness. That what that statement means, whatever. So we are what's more sacrificial. We are risk everything to make sure that it whole something did not go the way it went and that it would not have lasted the 6 months it lasted. How then you say we are was not involved? You're sitting there, you'll be listening to Unity Party people. You'll be running all over the place. It's not who talks loud. No. But who is making the difference? Jesus said everybody can talk. Everybody can say Lord, Lord. Everybody can say I'm Christian. But who making the difference? Who walking? And it is not everybody that will be showcasing and trumpeting what they're doing. Yes, you know that now we are lifestyle. Publicity power, we are in need again. We are in need recognition. We are got recognition from childhood all the way. He knows how to settle crisis. He's been fully involved in difficult negotiations. Negotiations that when it seems impossible, he will make a breakthrough. And he will not go telling people, will not call journalists and say, I did this and this is how I did it. No. We are is a distinct kind of leader. Therefore, not take over. So we are work more than everybody in that Sunday. Let's go back again. Chief, explain it and go. I'm not interrupting you again. Sorry for the interruption, sir. Please, let's go back. You explain yourself to the people.
Did well in standing by me. He touched those he wanted to touch that could have made a difference. And overall, I appreciate all that he did to stand by me in this time of crisis. President Weah, when I was in Rome, was involved. He got involved. He didn't have to be in Liberia because you can pick up the phone and call anybody. He was one of those who first alerted me to take this seriously when I was in Rome. Okay. In fact, he told me to return and forget about the visit with the Pope. You need to return now so we can fix this. But again, it was my choice as a Catholic. This is Wednesday. The appointment to see the Pope is Friday. So I then turn around and come to go save my seat for a job and leave the opportunity of a lifetime. That was my decision. To the extent that those 2 days cost me the speakership, it's my responsibility. But to say President Weah wasn't working, he was working. One thing about him in this crisis was that he worked a lot from the background and said, look, I'm here. Whatever you want to do, tell me, I will do it. How far you want to take this ball, tell me, I will carry it with you. When you fall, I will help pick it up. I am behind you. And I never saw a day, even I myself got embarrassed at times to call President Weah, to call this person or call that person or call the other person. Beside my colleague, he was the first person to call me to say, you need to get back to Monrovia now. We are facing a crisis. And he's been there. He called me when I was in Rome. He himself was in Italy. That tells you how much he was in touch with what was happening on the ground. He said, return to Monrovia. I have a program. I'm right behind you. And whether he was in Monrovia or not in Monrovia, former President Weah did everything that he had to Could he have done more? If I had asked him to do more, yes, he would have.
What more? So you see, all of you who indicted the former president, all of you who believe Unity Party politics, you see it now. Not only that, yeah, the next part. You know, Unity Party people, let me not say Unity Party people. Because when you call in them that way all the time, it can elevate them. That's elevation. But the shenanigans, the guys, besides we are being in the forefront, besides we are being ahead of Fonatikofa, behind Fonatikofa, on Fonatikofa right side, on Fonatikofa left side, because that's how the presence of God can go. When you say in the presence of God, according to the Bible, he before you, he behind you, he on your two extremes, left and right. That's how George Weah was with Fonatikofa in this thing. But the people wanted Weah to be making, to score political capital or political points from it, and that's not Weah style. No, that the petty politicians say. I bet you, if it was any one of the petty politicians, you're going to hear, oh, they are going to be in the media. You're going to hear talk show hosts quoting that person. You're going to hear online media people say, this person is addressing the matter of Fonatikofa, as we saw. But we are operate from behind the scene, and that's how a refined, educated, exposed, grounded leader do. They work from behind the scene. The guys, according to Fonatikofa, and you heard the man say he takes the blame, that he blamed himself for everything. And you heard it, man. He said it. He blamed himself for everything. Weah went to the extreme. Former president Weah went to the extreme to help this man. That the man himself confessing, oh, that now we are saying ill. But I thought to allow you people to hear him for yourself, because if I had just said it without playing him, you would have said, oh, because that day, because of that, Sam Andrews, then they know how to put lies together. Because radio say you must play the person's voice, let the people hear the person himself. That's why radio law say. He knew that he blundered from the onset. He knew. He felt that he was so clever in that situation. Not that he's not clever, but he felt that he was clever, meaning he had idea to quench that whole crisis. He did not know that he was coming up against a sweltering tide. He did not know. You know a sweltering tide? Go to the sea and just stand. You can see how you can rise up and come without force. If it meets you there, forget it, that your dead body, they will come and take from over there. He did not know that he was going against a sweltering tide. He felt it was just going to be the usual political gimmick, everything feeling that he said as speaker. With Bouaka behind it, you will survive. So here is the next part. Thank God he exonerated Weah by your Unity Party people saying all kinds of stuff, and you people who are seditious, not all seditious, but some of you believe it. Yeah, the next part to it. The guys were resolved. The guys were resolved. I know why they were resolved, but something can cause people to be resolved. He said the people were resolved to move in. And they used a plan. Another plan was that the pastors spoke to them, some of them. Men of God, women of God. You see now, men of God, women of God, you see how the people in respect you. Listen, no disrespect to you people. All of us are Christians. Fonatikova is about to say something that me, I wouldn't, no. But you know why the guys disrespected their priests, their pastors, and told them they're not religion? I mean, they think that they're not religion because the pastors were always muted. You see that what happened when you are muted? You don't have to call the president and say, my man, you know you're my member, you got to start. But if you speak against it nationally, and after that you take your telephone, you call that man, he will submit to you. For that he say, the guys, some of them, those who are Catholics, those who are Pentecost, their pastors, the priests tried talking to them, and they told them that they think they're not religion, that politics. You go sit down on Sunday, you go preach. That you're on the road to preach our own that politics. They're not religion yet.
These people didn't even listen to their own priest and bishop. A bishop called operational and said, I want you to stick by the speaker. He said, Bishop, lead it in our politics, they're not religion. So if they can't listen to their confessors, if they can't listen to the people, their minds were already made up. So they didn't even listen to their own priest and bishop. A bishop called operational and said, I want you to stick by the speaker. He said, Bishop, lead it in our politics, they're not religion. So if they can't listen to their confessors, if they can't listen to the people, their minds were already made up. But they didn't even listen to their own priest and bishop. A bishop called operational and said, I want you to stick by the speaker. He said, Bishop, lead it in our politics, they're not religion. So if they can't listen to their confessors, if they can't listen to the people, their minds were already made up. And their mind wasn't made up against the bishop or against George Weah. It was made up against me. Whatever fault that I had was my fault. They didn't want to come back and return to me. The bishop that went to the parishioner and said, stick by Kofa, and he said, look, they think that politics, you leave it, that they're not religion. Absolutely. I support the
Okay. So you hear? He say, yeah, they're not religion here. They're not preaching here. They're not Bible we're talking here. You go preach your Bible in a church. You see, it is a shame. It is a disgrace. It's demeaning. It's debasing. That's what happened. That's what you get from politicians. They look in your face as a pastor. They gave you that disrespectful response because you are muted. When you mute yourself, that's what happens. Once you are silent, politicians ain't respect you. Kotu Brown are always out. Kotu Brown can call any one of the people and talk to them. They'll say, my man, they think here that not religion here, that politics. Because they know his stance on national issues. He looked out into people's face and told them what is what. He called names. Besides identifying the problems. But the other one, you see it? But you did well anyway. MOGs and WOGs, you did well. But the guys were resolved. They will go back to you people now. Richard Coon got elected in an intimidating, hostile, coerced atmosphere. Richard Coon's election is just like Charles Taylor. You can compare it to Charles Taylor. Charles Taylor, the people went to the ballot box. But look at the condition under which the people went to the ballot box that Charles Taylor imagined was so high. Because the atmosphere was an intimidating, harassing one. Charles Taylor, in his Nebuchadnezzar instinct, told G. Henry Andrews, the chairman of the National Elections Commission then, that if he tampered with the result, not even the angels in heaven will save him. Was that not a threat? Joseph Yuma Boakai did not use the words of Charles Taylor, but he said that I will continue to work with decorum. And from the onset, we saw police harassment. We heard the speaker say they called him, the president called him, and in the presence of the president, Sam Gay, the director of EPS, said if he can resign, they will withdraw all the security details from him, and on and on. Everybody is aware of all of those. So who now will go against or would have gone against Richard Coon? That thing that Musa Bilete did over there, Musa Bilete only went and asked spies democratically. That, Musa Bilete only added spies democratically so that it would not be saying that, you see, everybody afraid. That's why nobody went against Richard Coon. But actually, that was you can compare Charles Taylor ascendancy to the presidency of this country to Richard Coon, and Richard Coon ascendancy to Charles Taylor. Look at the tension for months, 6 months. Look how it was. So what there? Now the man say he gave unification address. Let me just share it with you quickly, then I open the line here. The rest of the 2025 30 minutes will be for you. He said he gave unification address. Unification address. Let me run through it. No, I'm not reading it. To read it paragraph by paragraph is to be elevating him. But just to highlight some of the things he said in it, line for line. He said, we pledge to uphold the trust of the Liberian people by, no, the other line. Okay. He said, let us continue to embrace one another. Let us continue to embrace one another across counties, tribes, political affiliations, and religions. Your other man, say speaker. Let us engage in honest dialogue. That now you know dialogue when your colleagues on the other side were pressing for dialogue. You people ignore them. You had police protecting you and beating your colleagues on the other side. You never knew, Richard Coon, that this thing was going to come to an end. Your obsession for power beclouded you, bewitched you. You did not know that this day was going to come. You have it now. Or that now you want your colleagues to give you attention, that you should dialogue. Then he said, foster mutual respect. What mutual respect? Even on voting day, your camp on voting day in the chambers, the legislature, your camp was showing disrespect. There was no mutual respect for each other in that place. Your camp created, they agitated, they even disrespected the former speaker, that representatives Francis Afoko, Yeke Koluba, Goshen, and I think who else had to go to the speaker aid. You see the bitterness that stay within the hearts of your own majority bloc men. Then you say unification because you get the power now, so you start on unification. Within yourself, you have not unified your own self as a person. Then you're talking about unification. Then he said, and work hand in hand to overcome the challenges we face as a nation. The challenges just started. Now overcoming you, it just started in our house. And you say you speaker, we gave you the speaker now. You speaker. And you want everybody to call you speaker. And you want to be moving around with police escort, armed men and guarding you. You speaker, we'll call you speaker. But we move to the issues now. We move to the issues. You will know. You will be you will be checkmated to the core, everything along the way. Please empower your media men now, so they will write more, they talk more. Because that other one you get there, he say a media man where he can't even talk good. All right. So that's it then. That's it. So it's 10,000 today. 10,000. That star 79 and star 24 hash. Play with 100, 200 Liberian dollars or $1.50 US and get your 10,000, your holiday 10,000 on the King's Cash giveaway. The jackpot. Hit it. Jackpot by just dialing star 79 and star 100. That's 24 hash. Play with 200 Liberian dollars or $1.50 US, and then you can take your unification 10,000. Let's go to the line 0772 23 99 33 0886 30 44 97. The women's line. According again, the woman in line, that's 0 7 7 7 9 8 0 3 7 5. You man, you take your telephone, you call the women line. When I hear you ban. Don't take that serious, man. Just joking. But that's the women's line. So let's go now. Hello.
Yeah. Good afternoon, Mr. Andrews.
Yes, good afternoon.
Thank you very much, Mr. Andrew. Andrew, I'm Spencer Mohammed, and I call from Apropos Corner, down Coast Spoon Hill, Winter Community.
Yeah, let's hear you, Spencer.
Andrew, yes, to the point. Thank you very much. And I want to use this time to appreciate the former President, His Excellency Dr. George Manuel Weah, for his brilliant involvement. And I like this confession. This confession was made on a very propagandistic radio station that spread these lies about the former president. It was he, Stendhal Waterspoon, that brought this allegation that it was President Weah that was the chief architect about the removal of the former speaker. So it was so good that the speaker went and put it right in his face. So this
okay,
has
Chief.
come to reality that that station
Thank you.
is just
Hello. Let's go. You on?
Yeah, good afternoon, General Andrew.
Let's hear you. What's your name and where you call from?
Nasiri Babe calling you, General Andrew.
Let's go.
Nasiri Babe calling you, General.
Yeah. Let's hear you.
Yeah, you know what the people are doing? Me, I can tell all the citizens that me every day I campaign because I can be in my gear. My t-shirt, my hat, I get a t-shirt to see away, I get a one to go walk about. So let all citizens, women will be down the lapa, men will wear the t-shirt, wear the hat. So the people will know that we are ready for something.
Thank you.
2029 is not far from here.
All right.
Let's
Thank you, sir.
campaign.
Hello.
Hello.
Your name and where you call from?
Yeah, this is Benedict for Central Morovia.
Let's hear you, Benedict.
Yeah, thank you very much for the show, the topic on discussion. Also, I think the unification based and speech given by the president is of bluff.
No, I talk about no unification speech. You aren't listening to that man's speech. What you heard me say is what you talk. That what it is. That what talk show is. So if you listen to it, fine. But
no, I didn't listen to it. It's just you that.
No, I said I saw it just before coming on the air. I went on the Executive Mansion website and I saw Kula Fofana say the president will be delivering his Unification Day address this afternoon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But if you will be doing so, then I think a minute worthless of them even notifying the public because this particular.
No, they were issuing a statement and the man will read statement in a home office. Then they were, sending.
Yeah, it's quite unfortunate to have the party old man come out and notify people talk about Unification Day.
Okay.
He is saying he's not worth of speaking on anything to call Unification
All right, Chief.
in the first place. Thank you very much.
Hello.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello. Hello.
Yeah, fine. How are you?
That's only I want to go. I want ready to come to that station. My name is Dorothy Brown. Our lady to the party headquarters sent to that far. On the time and some and hug that point. Just one day for school. No way for me. I'm 53 years old woman. I'm 30 time in the play what they call jungle farm.
Amen.
Yo, Pastor, yo, I saw about yo. I saw whole everything on the bar here. I'm happy.
Yeah, okay. Sorry, man. Sorry. I really feel for you, man. I really feel for you. I know what you're going through. Sorry, but yeah, we can't do anything right now. Sorry, I really feel for you. Yeah, you must call. I know. I can tell you to come, but when Israel on tomorrow, you must call him and say, yeah. Yeah, cause right now I can't tell you anything because I know we ourselves, the station needs money too. Thank you. Hello.
Hello, Sam.
Yeah.
The vacation day, what are you talking about? The vacation day,
man, I don't talk about that unification day. I was just saying nothing because the economy, everybody sitting down, nothing working. Israel talk about that unification day this morning. I had to call him content talk about it. They can be talking one unification. I don't talk about that thing there. Hello. Only talking about the economy when you have holiday, how you can affect the economy.
Hello?
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you very much for the talking you're doing. You know, when the citizen always blame your we are. Blame your we are without no reason. Now the man show himself today that he was the cause. He said the place you were going, it was going to be benefiting him.
Yeah.
But thank God that he bring it out. I tell you, thank you so much for what you're doing for Liberia. I'm waiting Sabato calling for rehab.
Yeah, thank you for
thank
calling.
You so much.
Have a nice holiday. Well, you have a holiday, you enjoying yourself. Yeah. Yeah, the bear confess. Hello. Hello.
Good afternoon. Yeah, good afternoon, Mr. Sam Andrew.
Good afternoon, Chief. Let's hear you. Where you come from? Your name?
Yeah, I'm Peter David Carter. I call from under the street in Roy Johnsonville. You know, Mr. Sam Andrew, let me appreciate the Honorable Speaker Jay Fonatico for demystifying the maze that have been permeating in the corridor of the power. So you see, these guys that came at the epicenter of power, they just feel that when you are in government, politics work. When it comes to government, politics does not work. Some of us, we are fully aware of all the issues that happen. And thankfully, Fonatico have really admitted, we knew that, and His Excellency Dr. George and the time we was with him, he fought and alongside with him, and inclusively with the entire political party and all the supporters who fought with Fonatico for. And that's why even when you look at this particular removal of the speaker, it was not just done on a civil pattern, as it was done with civil other past speakers. The government it entered in their talk as a costume. They have to go for what we call an agreement or a negotiation. So these were the effort that His Excellency Dr. President Johnson we have very initiated.
All right, sir.
And the former speaker. Thank you very much.
Hello.
Hello, Sam Andrew Isaac.
I'm doing fine. Let's hear you. Your name and where you call from?
Thank you very much for the show. My name is Ibrahim Imam. I come from Christopolis. Thank you for the show and thank you for the analysis and thank God Honorable Fonatico was made that clarity so that the public can be clear. But I've told all my friends that around me that the Unity Party is good at lying. You can be saying where you are and they will take a black because they will try to convince you. If you're not strong, they will convince you and they agree with it. So our friends shouldn't be believing it all the time. So Reggie Kun now is the speaker, and for me, it is just the same thing that they did before hijacking power because he was being declared as somebody who did illegal things in the country and unconstitutional things. So it should have been that way as by the law. Because people say they can't afford corruption, but how can they be accepting somebody who going against the constitution and the laws? So we are there in the mess, and we don't know where we are headed. Thank you very much for the show.
Thank you to have a nice holiday unification. Unification. Hello.
Let me thank you.
Good afternoon.
This is the voice of Peter Sai, and I join you from Sogwini District 4.
Let's hear you.
Thank you, my concern to do with now that the regime speaker have become regime speaker now. What become of the previous 6-7 months that he served, and he was not been, voted for by a colleague. According to our constitution, usurpation of authority or power or position is a crime, it's a violation of our constitution. So now that he has become speaker, the past time that he was not speaker, the part of the fight that he had to go again and recontest show to us that he was now a speaker, and now that he has become a speaker. So what become of the time that he was impersonating you serving the office of the speaker?
My man, leader,
what become of that?
No, leader one that the main government in power. Leader one, that one is in the public domain, in the annal of history.
That now your government, they
Listen,
we are going to follow it. That is usurpation of function, usurpation of office, usurpation of power. Will go after it. You are not speaker, you not to occupy that position.
My man, listen now.
In that position.
Okay, go to the man and do what you want to do.
We will do.
But listen, you
Because
talking,
we are
give
going
people chance.
we are going to issue with regime or speaker.
My man. Some of your call, you'll be like water running down. You call, you listening, it's for interaction. You listen. You say a point when the person wants to say something, you pause. Then they will say, then you come. But you can't be running, you authority, you can do anything right now. Listen what the person wants to say. When I say that the man's regime, that the man government right now, what you can do? You can't do nothing right now. It's in the public domain. It's in the annal of history. The next government that will come will prosecute Richard Kun for it. When you call, it's interactive. Get change. You don't be talking. You can't put anger or sentiment. You just you can go to Richard Kun and he said, bring all that money. His colleagues will be in the position. They even they're covering everything. The only time Richard Kun will suffer it, that the next government that will come, he will be prosecuted. The first thing he will be expelled. Then he will be prosecuted. Right now, he's covered. He's covered. It's as simple. You don't need any extra education. Don't be so sentimental. He is covered right now. He has the protection of the president, the protection of the guys in the place there, his gang, his group. He has the protection of the Senate because Yombi Kanga Lawrence is a subservient to the executive. We know that for a fact from Senators Edwin Snow and Amara Conan. They didn't want to us. They say the Senate is an extension of the executive. So that won't leave it. They will protect him. All of the Unity Party people, they'll protect him on that. So he will live out, give chance, let a man live out his speakership. He will not be speaker forever and ever. He will turn over that gavel. By the time he's off that place, it starts. That's how you do it. Yeah, you can see the other people in other countries, some of the cases that you can listen to, or some of the things you can say, oh, but they didn't really talk long. The boy exercise patience, they waited. The record's there. Yeah, Rachel Kun will not go free. Let's hear you, yeah.
Let's hear you.
Yeah, let's hear you. Think because the man has speaker, so he will not be prosecuted.
Yeah. There's certain Romano people that my name is coming from Clarissa. Romano people that they put in a hypocrite. They don't the country of the outside dollar, all the less. Because the city, the country money. They want all the land is there. They may already turn the power over to them. Now they see the country money, who water, they are saying the agent finish. Come with you. One day they will get a account for that city and the city. Thank you.
Hello? Hello?
Oh, you are the head. When they say something, they're not going to say you. You're not running inside. You said that that's so worthless. You were the thing. That's why you were talking. You're very much one.
you're making palava then. I say radio can experience all kinds of things. The big boy in the town now is Rachel Cohn. That's a big boy. The Carlos in the town. Hello.
Yeah, Mr. Andrew, the brother was just frustrated that the reason why he's going to get you changed. How silly is that the foreign minister be cooperating with men who are not speaker at the time? As you said, the Senate is just an extension of the executive. And this is quite unfortunate to have an extension of governor who is supposed to be the head of the land and running into triviality and doing the wrong thing. I think the next 6 years, it will not only be the cool man alone, the entire Senate all will be inducted into the 6 month looting of our state resources that they have carried on. It will not be cool alone. The Senate, the foreign minister, and the president speaker, all of them will be inducted after the 6 years because I know criminally they will try to protect me, as you said. So we'll stand by and wait for after the 2029.
Thank you, sir. Hello.
Hello.
Good afternoon. Let's hear you.
Yeah, thank you. You are AD all behind Jovia Kennedy. That's what better. I will say Jovia will say Baka, everybody will cry. Today we join us. The poor who are happy. And the day was something. Now raising Nabeku, they will not be forever in that world. Rabia can be mini. But I'm not touching finish. So the people you get with the three share in my beer that will look at it. Let me go ahead. So we see. I will call the other without every say, Baka this will cry. Today, what happening now? Well, going. We get a sort of each in the bed. We will be our people. Not take a hand off. We sell it fast. Yeah, we suffering now. That Baka people. Everybody running all around. So, look at the thank you, Amen.
All right. All right. Thank you so much. Yeah.
He did well in standing by me. He touched those he wanted to touch that could have made a difference. And overall, I appreciate all that he did to stand by me in this time of crisis. President Weah, when I was in Rome, was involved. He got involved. He didn't have to be in Liberia because you can pick up the phone and call anybody. He was one of those who first alerted me to take this seriously when I was in Rome. Okay. In fact, he told me to return and forget about the visit with the Pope. You need to return now so we can fix this. But again, it was my choice as a Catholic. This is Wednesday. The appointment to see the Pope is Friday. So I then turn around and come to go save my seat for a job and leave the opportunity of a lifetime. That was my decision. To the extent that those 2 days cost me the speakership, it's my responsibility. But to say President Weah wasn't working, he was working. One thing about him in this crisis was that he worked a lot from the background and said, look, I'm here. Whatever you want to do, tell me, I will do it. How far you want to take this ball, tell me, I will carry it with you. When you fall, I will help pick it up. I am behind you. And I never saw a day, even I myself got embarrassed at times to call President Weah, to call this person or call that person or call the other person. Beside my colleague, he was the first person to call me to say, you need to get back to Monrovia now. We are facing a crisis. And he's been there. He called me when I was in Rome. He himself was in Italy. That tells you how much he was in touch with what was happening on the ground. He said, return to Monrovia. I have a program. I'm right behind you. And whether he was in Monrovia or not in Monrovia, former President Weah did everything that he had to. Could he have done more? If I had asked him to do more, yes, he would have.
You're listening to Real Talk and watching also on Kings 88.5 with me, Sam Andrews, on this day, May 14, Unification Day constitutionally, national holiday. Yeah, in Liberia. Hello. Hello.
Yeah, hello, Sam Andrew. This is my amica coming called Joya Ma from the 16. We tell God thank you for your papa. You're trying. You're doing your best. He's giving us information. I tell God thank you. I know that you born your children steady. The Bible even say anything your right hand do, your left hand will not do. Know it. Thank God that Fonatikofa himself open his mouth that for where was standing with him. Thank God, we tell God thank you. Because you're used to talking. There's some people who get weak man that didn't want everything that they can be bringing my son Joria. The people that will get weak man. We tell God thank you. But God can lie. We him that we don't walk can lie. The thing that will happen to the government. God already said let it take speakership work. God is in control. That God get paid for them. We say, I tell you, thank you. In Jesus' name.
Amen. Oh, thank you too for calling. Have a nice day. They say Unification Day. So the speaker, Richard Cohen became speaker under a tense, intimidated, hostile atmosphere. Yeah. People were afraid. The executive created a scene that if it can be Richard Cohen, nobody will go there. So they harassed, intimidated, coerced, threatened. The speaker did everything they could within their powers. They allegedly gave money, as evident by the way the guys from the majority bloc conducted themselves. Interestingly, when everything was over, they wore the law t-shirt. I hope they send one to the president. He needs to wear that. As I said yesterday, and I say today, what they did yesterday was a slap in the face of the president. Yes, they told him by that action that you disregarded the law. This is what was needed from the onset. The guys on the other side set precedents. They stuck to the law. The law prevailed. And we are proud to announce to the whole world that Fonati Kofa and the Rule of Law Caucus truly pursued the right path. That's what the guys confirmed yesterday. But look at them. The word that teacher, you could not see smile on their faces. They were not too. You could see their consciences were dead as their countenance. When the warrior, look how they were coming out. The very thing, the very rule of law that they sacrifice on their occultic altar, the very expression they use on their t-shirt, they went to the printer and printed. So Richard Cohen there now. Anyway, they wanted Fonati Kofa off. Will it stop anything from Fonati Kofa? We're looking up to the book, Fonati Kofa's book. From 1, according to him, from 1 to 73. Richard Cohen, he can move now with your 50,000 policemen, army men, everybody. You can even use 900 vehicles. And you want those niceties and those good things of life, that accompany top brass. And now you're like in this country. Look what happening to the country. You guys sit down over there year in, year out. All of these holidays, laws that you people should look at and say this is obsolete. This does not go with past this time. We need this holiday. We need the holiday. Let us repeal this. Things that you ought to do in that legislature, you can do it. The ones that are good for the country, that what you can take off. Unnecessary holidays. Now the whole world knows that Liberia problem, that our legislature, everybody fighting for power and money. Now, let me share this. I think I saw this. AB share these names that, according to the information that voted, this was shared by AB. I must give him the credit. Those who voted for not Fonati, sorry, but Musability. Of these names, I doubt the last name. I was looking for her clip, but I could not just get it. She had wanted to be deputy speaker. Sorry to say, this woman is very cunning. She had wanted to be deputy speaker. She was desperate to be deputy speaker. She was in the presence of Fonati Kofa. She announced her candidature to be deputy speaker. She ran her campaign. At the 11th hour, honestly, we must admit, Thomas Fowler did not announce his intention earlier. So many saw her as a deputy speaker in waiting, that she would have gone on a white ballot. But at the 11th hour, in the very chamber, it changed. That's why legislative politics, you have to be very careful, very keen. Don't put your entire mind, body, and soul into anything or anybody, because that place is highly deceptive. At the 11th hour, Thomas Fowler's name emerged, and Thomas Fowler became the deputy speaker. This woman in Merman Briggs Mensa got furious. She ranted. She used words. In fact, before then, she became a choir director for Fonati Kofa. I will get her songs. I have it. It is not out of my gallery. I have it. She was singing all over the place. She was even blowing breeze on Fonati Kofa. She was too certain of becoming. I am telling you why she went against Fonati Kofa and why I am doubtful that this woman voted. This name, no, Merman Briggs Mensa never voted. And we saw it on that day. She never voted for Musability. She voted for Rachel Kuhn. The woman along the way came out with different shenanigans. When this thing started, she was on the speaker's side, rule of law. At a certain point in time, when she saw how things were going, how the majority bloc was conducting themselves, exercising this authority, doing this, doing that, calling the guys from the executive branch to answer to XYZ. She saw all of those things. She's jet. They're the beginning, I can say in Labyrinth. Say, boy, look, the thing here is working on us how the president supporting them, all the men are going, people from the executive going there, honoring their invitation. She went on her side. Later on, she switched. She went back. She said she taking a neutral posture. That if the speaker can have the quorum, then there is no need where the quorum is, and she was go. In fact, the country needs to go forward. But the way the quorum conducting themselves, they need to come together and reconcile for the good of the country. Based on that, she was playing a neutral role. She was not with the rule of law caucus, not with the majority. That's what she said. But you could see that she was scheming. Fonati Kofa placed her on this ECOWAS stuff. So she did not want to make Fonati Kofa to feel uncomfortable or see her as a betrayer. So she was flirting. She was flirting. Yeah, she was playing the love life. That was called flirting. Flirting, flirting. just a love lifestyle. She was flirting. She was in between, showing that lovely side to Fonati. Then she on the other side showing she would go. She was in the majority, the quorum gatherings, their sessions many days before they went to Nigeria for their stuff. She comes back, see the woman in a place. The woman was leaning more on the side of the majority bloc. When it was announced, when Rachel Kuhn was announced speaker, what did you see her do? She ran on the stage just as she did the first time with Fonati Kofa. She let her follow place. All the women over there, you're not seeing them moving and Tina. And the first election, Fonati Kofa election, she was all on the podium again. Yesterday, she jumped there, showcasing. The woman never voted for Musa Ability. The Mema Briggs Mensa woman, she never. They just put a name here, but I doubt that this woman ever voted for Musa Ability. She went for Rachel Kuhn. The woman was leaning more on the side of the majority bloc, the quorum. She was excited. See the woman when they announced Rachel Kuhn, see how she was smiling, laughing. The woman felt that a payback had come because Fonati Kofa betrayed her. We know that politics. We follow it. She felt it was the woman when it was announced that Thomas Fowler won the deputy speaker position. The woman immediately she called all the legislative reporters. She blasted. She said some things about Fonati Kofa. She even said that the election was dollarized, meaning Fonati Kofa chunked money all over the place. Fonati Kofa worked against her that she would not get the deputy speaker position, and truly it happened. I have a voice. I will bring it. She said the whole thing was dollarized, and that's how it is at the legislature. Everything is money. Because I don't have money, so I was denied the deputy speaker position. The Mema Briggs Mensa woman. Hey man, let me see my gallery, man. I know I can get it before I go. I want to so your yellow woman talking how the entire process was dollarized, and because she did not have money, so she did not have money to give to anybody. There's the reason why she, in essence, she was saying Thomas Fowler and Fonati Kofa are the ones who have the money, and because they're from CDC, so the woman never voted for Musa Ability. She was never in the issue of the real law cocker or ninja on the list. Just so to say, that woman is a schemer. So yeah, the name. Let me run down. Let me run through the names. Then we out. Musa Ability, Ta Wongwe, Rugi Barry, Sumo Koli Molba, Samuel Enders, Frank Safoko, Yeke Koluba, Edward Papi Flomo, Munka Kamara, Abu Bana Kamara, Jerry K. Yogbo, Dixon W. Sibo, Bernard Blue Benson, Marvin Cole, Eugene Colley, Zena A. Norman, Luther Collins, Matthew Joe, Thomas Goshua, Bintu Masale, J. Fonati Kofa, Roland O.P. Cooper, Ellen Atore, Alex X. Noah, Jacob Debbie, and Mema Briggs Menza. Thank you so much. Credit to A.B. William for sharing this. I doubt whether this woman ever voted for Musa Ability side. 26%, but all right, not bad. Musa Ability got 26. Not bad. Okay, so people, we have to go. Time is of the essence. Thank you all. Today is holiday. Yeah, the holiday. Dry holiday. Dry one. Not easy. But we're giving 10,000, 10,000 Liberian dollars. 10,000. Yeah, that's what the people say. REL people, 10,000. So you can take it. Dial star 799, star 24 hatch, play with 200 Liberian dollars or $1.50 US, and then you can have your unification 10,000. Real Madrid is playing tonight. I understand they are playing Real Mallorca. Yeah, man. I see my Vaga sister, Dinah Dennis. I see Dinah. What happened? Yeah. Real Madrid playing tonight. They're playing Real Mallorca. Real Mallorca beat them first. So we're going to take 3 points from them. Yeah. We the fans of Real Mallorca, our team, Real Mallorca, will take 3 points from Real Madrid tonight. They're playing tonight. After they were humiliated, they were suffocated, neutralized by FC Barcelona. Then tomorrow evening, FC Barcelona will face Espanyol. Yeah. So we've got 3 games to go. We've got 3 games. Mathematically, Barcelona only need to win 2 games. Win 2, draw 1, and finish. Or if Real Madrid is beaten tonight by Real Mallorca, then Barcelona only needs a win against Espanyol. The 6 points, they can share it between they and Atletico Madrid. And the margin is not wide. The margin between Atletico Madrid and Real Madrid is not wide. If Atletico Madrid goes on to win all her games and Real Madrid drop points, it means Real Madrid will drop 3rd place and Atletico Madrid will go 2nd place and Barcelona will be 1st. So Real Madrid is fighting hard not to go 3rd place. You look at it. The permutation is as simple. Real Madrid, I think, what's the margin? It's not very long. I saw it before coming on. Not very long. I think few points between them. So if Real Madrid slips and Atletico Madrid wins, then will come close. Maybe it will be in the range of 4 points or 2 points or 3 points. If Real Madrid draws or goes on to lose a game, then they will go 3rd place. They will finish the league 3rd place, and Atletico Madrid will be 2nd and Barcelona 1st. But as it stands, Barcelona needs to win 2 games. Barcelona got Espanyol on tomorrow. Then on Sunday, they have Villarreal. After that, it will be 1 game. And that game, all of the games will be played at the same time. But it will not be a problem for Barcelona. Even they can take 11 small children from Liberia to go and play that game. It will mean nothing because they will have already clinched the title. So they will not need to use all of their players. For the Pichichi is the higher goal scorer, a Spanish expression for higher goal scorer, Pichichi. Kylian Mbappe leads Robert Lewandowski with 2 goals. 2 goals. If he scores tonight, say he scores 2, then it will be 4. If he scores 5 or 3, it will be 5 goals. That will be a difficult task for Lewandowski to equalize and go ahead. So we can say that he's at the verge of winning the Pichichi. Yeah. Kylian Mbappe. Also, according to what we have, our record, he's the first Real Madrid player to lose or El Clasico. He never won any. Kylian Mbappe. Begin. You should stay at your club. PSG. Yes, PSG in final. I know. Why do you think you're happening to players? Yeah, I see you, man. Okay. So today is Wednesday. Yes, it's Wednesday. CDC hour is on at 6:50. 6:50 to 7:50, and then at 8 this evening is Face the Issues with Teacher Light, Anthony at Law, A.B. Weird. You don't want to miss it. That will be at 8 tonight. So that's how we go home. Thank you ever so much for being with us. Enjoy your holiday, Unification Day in Liberia. If God permits, we're back tomorrow. Shalom.
From the latest news to your favorite tunes, we've got your back morning, night, and afternoon. Join our family, connect with your crew. Kings FM 88.5, just for you.
Yes, yes.
Pee-wee?
Yes.
What all the happiness for now?
Yama, the thing that making some of our friends in other countries can be building houses and sending their children to Google schools now come to Liberia, yeah?
What's that?